Have you ever seen a Made in USA label? If so, you might have seen it as a positive sign and thought that the product was made by a local company to high standards. Turns out, it might not mean as much as we'd like it to. According to the Federal Trade Commissions, Made in USA means that all or virtually all of a product is made in the USA. This does not actually protect the rights of garment workers at all. It just means that the item is made in the USA. Actually, many US garment workers are subjected to sweatshop-like working conditions and experience many wage violations. According to the Department of Labor in 2022, over 80% of garment factories in Southern California that were investigated by the Wage and Hour Division Department found violations of the Fair Labor Standards Act. This act protects workers' wages, prohibits off-the-record pay, prevents child labor. It's quite necessary. They even found that almost a third of garment factories paid their workers pay-by-piece rate, which is prohibited in Southern California. This pay-by-piece model severely underpays workers. Under this model, some workers in Southern California have been recorded as making as little as $1.68 an hour. You did not mishear me. Imagine trying to live off that salary in Los Angeles today. Along with this, many garment factories in the United States also have very unsafe working conditions. Workers are usually exposed to working conditions that have things like poor ventilation, rat urine found in threads, and even workers reporting chronic pain from working at these factories. Clearly, just because an item is made in the USA does not mean that the workers were treated well. So, is there anything being done to stop this? There is actually a proposed bill that has been introduced in both the House and the Senate called the Fabric Act. The Fabric Act stands for the Fashioning, Accountability, and Building Real Institutional Change Act. This bill will enforce minimum wages for factory workers, which will end the pay-by-piece model in factories, establish a nationwide garment industry registry, and increase transparency of brand practices so they can't hide their workplace violations. Although this bill has been introduced into Congress, it still does need to gain more support to pass, but don't worry, there are things you can do as an individual to help this bill get passed. Although this bill has been introduced into Congress, it still needs to gain more support to pass, but there are things you can do to help. You can call your U.S. representative and senator and encourage them to support this bill. If you go to the Fabric Act's official website, which is thefabricact.org, you will get a list of representatives and senators where you can find yours, along with their phone numbers, emails, and a script of what to say to them to encourage them to support this bill. A note to Illinois residents, Senator Tammy Duckworth has supported this bill thanks to the efforts of Chicago Fair Trade, but Senator Dick Durbin has not. So it is very important to call him and encourage him to support this bill. Let's get both senators to pass this bill. If you would like to learn more about this topic, check out the Garment Workers Center's website, where you can sign their Protect LA's Garment Jobs petition. Thank you, and let's do this.